game.
Man, you can say that again, Betsy.
Wow, that was an exciting game.
Very funny, but it was a great game. Can you believe that last play? That we crushed the guy with the ball?
Chet Morton was awesome. That dude is an amazing linesman. He sure put the hurt on that linebacker. Kind of like he does those double-stuffed pepperoni pizzas.
Chet had told me the team was working on a new play, but I had no idea how powerful it was.
It made all the difference, didn't it? Another win for the home team. Frank Hardy's an amazing quarterback. I bet the college scholarship offers will come pouring in soon.
He's a senior this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he already has a stack of them.
Look, there's Nancy and George.
Nancy, George, over here.
Hey guys, wasn't that an incredible game? Best one this season.
The team looked really in sync today. I think the playoffs are definitely in our future. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We still got to play Hopkinsville. They're having a great season, and they're always our biggest rival.
That's a good point. We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch.
No sign of the team yet, huh?
Not yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll be here soon. Someone you're anxious to see, Nancy?
No, of course not. I just wanted to congratulate the guys on a great game.
Look, here come the guys now. Great game, guys. Woo, that was good.
Chet, you were awesome on that last play.
Thanks. I may have we worked hard on it in practice this week, and I'm glad we got to use it today.
It worked like a dream, too, didn't it?
Just like in practice. Smooth as silk.
Congratulations, guys. It was a terrific game. Frank, you were fabulous today.
Thanks, Nancy. I'm glad you were to see it.
Oh, I don't think Nancy would have missed it for the world.
Well, I just thought she might have been out working on some mystery or something.
Nope, my life is mystery-free at the moment. Winning this game gives us a big boost of confidence for the rest of the season. And get ready for the game against Hopkinsville.
Chet, way to put the block on that guy to get the last winning touchdown.
Thanks. I may have a sore shoulder, but it was worth it.
Joe, that was quite a zip down the field tonight. It secured that last field goal.
Yeah, that's when I knew the victory was ours. Everything was satisfactory.
Hey, just like the song.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-hey. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine headed my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-hey. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-hey. Wonderful feelings, wonderful day.
You guys hungry? I'm starving. Let's go grab a burger or two.
I didn't even play, but I'm hungry. How about Freddy's Burgers? Want to head over there?
That sounds perfect. Everyone coming?
I'm in. Just let me get this.
Should we wait for Nancy or go ahead to Freddy's?
Why don't you all go on? I'll wait for Nancy. Save us a booth, would ya?
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you there.
Again, great game, guys. Come on, let's get going. All that cheering works on the appetite. I'll drive. We're probably too big for Plunger to drive safely. I call shotgun. Nancy, what's wrong? You look worried.
What's going on? Can we help with anything?
That was my good friend Sky on the phone. She lives out in West Texas near a reservation. Several weeks ago, a team of archaeologists arrived to open a dig site.
As interesting as that is, why call you?
There seems to be trouble out there. Sky and her family know that I love mysteries and that you guys are mystery solvers. She called to ask if there was any way we could come out west and help.
Solving a mystery is our kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready for an adventure and a good mystery to solve.
I'm in. Do they have good food there?
Sky's mom is an excellent cook, so I bet you'll eat well, Chet.
The timing is perfect since next week's our fall break.
You were right, George. Otherwise, we couldn't make practice. Coach would kill us if we missed practice.
We need to get home, ask permission, and get packed. From her call, it sounds like time is of the essence.
Let's meet at my house in an hour. I'll also borrow Dad's van so we can all ride together and fit all of our bags in there.
Chet, that doesn't mean you have to bring your entire closet with you or all the food from your mom's kitchen.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Everything that I bring with me, I use. And you guys end up asking me to borrow stuff.
Grandfather, I just spoke with my friend Nancy. She and her friends are headed this way. I just know they can help us.
I don't know how a bunch of kids are going to be able to help. I'm not sure anyone can help us with the trouble we face. I'm afraid we all may have to move away.
Nancy has solved a lot of mysteries, and her friends, Frank and Joe Hardy, have a father who is a detective with the police department. They have grown up around detective work and have helped to solve a lot of crimes. And who knows? Maybe the thing that we're looking for will show up. Don't give up hope yet. It just has to be somewhere around the dig site.
In that case, I look forward to their visiting and seeing if they can help us. Having more eyes on the dig may help stop some of these shenanigans going on. I don't want anyone else getting injured while working at the dig.
Rise and shine. It's a bright blue morning at KDAV Radio. I hope you are doing well and ready for the morning news.
To be perfectly honest, we just hope you're listening. After all, our weighted way is going 3 miles in any direction. May Pro Willis, are you listening? We sure could use some donuts down here at the station. Now to feed the pigs before coming in today, and I am starving.
Maple makes the best donuts, don't you think?
It's true.
It's true. Let's bring the news of the hour to the good folks out there.
I thought you had, Bucky.
Well, I'll be. Now, what did I... Here it is. Here it is. I found it. The United States Congress said last night that they are fed up with the president and his erratic domestic policies. The president replied, "Right back at you, Congress."
I tell you, the U.S. Capitol should move right here to Fort Davis, because good citizens created Fort Davis will have this country's problems solved within 24 hours.
And just why is that, Bubba?
Cell phones, that is, no cell phones.
That's right, that's right. We don't have cell phones in these parts. People would have to talk face-to-face to work out their issues.
And if that didn't work, send those politicians back to Miss Jennings' third grade classroom. She'll get in the line.
That's true. And they'll come out with excellent handwriting skills to boot.
I tell you, I learned so much of that woman's class, and look at me now, a radio personality.
Now, don't go blaming that on Miss Jennings. That's one on you. Moving right along. Bubba, why don't you tell us about the present state of the stock market?
Pleased to do so. Well, oil futures are stable, beef prices are tender, and pork bellies are dry on the ground, and natural gas, well, let's just say that's a stinky state of affairs. But let me tell you, silk prices have skyrocketed the past 6 weeks. Seems there's not enough supply to fill the demand. And I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about selling my Grammy's Gravy Silver boat. I might could retire.
Now, before you start getting those grandiose ideas about moving to the big city, like, say, Waco, we need a word from our sponsor. There's none better than Tommy Solis, owner of Tommy's Tune Up and Malt Shop.
Do you drive in the West Texas heat? Does your engine sputter and spit rather than purr like a kitten? Then you need to head on down to Tommy's Tune Up and Malt Shop, where we can change your spark plugs and cool your taste buds. Thank you for your support.
My goodness, I sure do like their chocolate malted because that cools heaven in this dry Texas heat.
That's true, that's true.
That's true. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, got some breaking news. There seems to be some strange happenings over at the tribal reservation where they're doing the archaeological dig.
Really? What's going on? Tell us about it. I know Chief Greywolf is excited about those relics they found. He's hoping to use the money from the sale of those relics to educate those dear children in his tribe.
Well, we may have a hard time with that. Apparently, from the word on the street, they've stirred up ingrained in spirit. We'll take no else back. Several very valuable finds have gone missing. Volunteers at the site are in a state of shock and awe. We'll keep you posted as updates become available.
But for now, on behalf of Bubba, this is Bucky saying adios from KDAB Radio.
Good gosh, I'm so stiff.
Yeah, that was a long trip out here. But man, look at the scenery. It's beautiful.
Wow, look at these mountains and all the sky.
Speaking of Sky, there she is now.
Hey, Sky, how you doing? We hear you've been having some trouble lately.
Hi, everyone. I am so glad you're all here. I'm doing okay. And you're right. We are having some trouble at the dig.
So tell us about Sky. What's going on?
Yeah, we come to help you and your grandfather solve your mystery. Just tell us how we can help.
Well, I know you guys have to be tired and thirsty. So I'll show you to your cabins, and then I'll tell you everything I know.
I'm tired and I'm thirsty, but boy am I ever hungry. When do we eat?
Chet, your stomach is always running on empty. I'm sure Sky will lose to the food soon enough. Tell us what we're facing, Sky.
Okay. Well, it has really been upsetting to my grandfather and tribe. Our tribe is in trouble. We've always had financial difficulties, but now we have more to worry about than just money.
Sky, don't leave out any details. You can trust us with any information you have.
We're here to help, and you know mysteries is our specialty.
Well, where to begin? The land we are on, Prude Ranch, has belonged to my tribe for generations. Several months ago, an archaeological team approached my grandfather about exploring our land for artifacts.
What kind of artifacts? Stuff like clay pots, masks, arrowheads, maybe even bones.
So bones? Maybe I should have stayed home.
No, you're staying.
That's exactly the kind of thing that they were looking for.
I assume your grandfather agreed to this request since I spotted some dig sites when we arrived.
Has the team found the artifacts yet?
Yes, they found several interesting artifacts. Many things we didn't even know were here.
So, what's the problem?
Well, we have a twofold problem. The first is that artifacts are disappearing.
What do you mean disappearing? Lost? Misplaced?
No. You see, at the end of each day, the day's discovery has to be labeled for cataloging and put into inventory.
I know. Things like where it was found, who found it, and the date it was found, right?
Exactly. But when the archaeologists have gone back to inspect some of the items further, they're gone.
Who want a bunch of old broken pieces of junk?
They're not pieces of junk, Chet. They're part of Sky's heritage.
Sky, how many items are missing?
Well, at last count, close to 24, and almost all could be considered priceless.
Well, if someone is stealing them, at least it's a smart thief.
It doesn't matter if it's a smart thief or not. It matters that a thief is among us and taking things that do not belong to them.
Grandfather, I didn't hear you come in. Everyone, this is my grandfather, Chief Lucas Greywolf, my grandmother, Autumn Greywolf, and my brother, Hunter.
It's an honor to meet you, Chief Gravel.
We are here to help.
Nice to meet you, Chief.
Hi, Hunter. I'm Nancy.
How? Me check Tailface.
Please don't get into stereotypes. Chief Greywolf and Hunter speak better English than you do.
Yeah, I've seen your English grade before.
Chet, you're funny. You make me laugh. I think we'll be very good friends. Sky, have you mentioned the damage to the numerous vaults at the site?
No, grandmother, we have not gotten that far into the mystery.
Several weeks ago, we began to notice dig marks around some of the vaults. No one claimed responsibility for them.
What do you mean when you say vaults?
The vaults are what we call dig sites. Many of them are burial chambers. They're often filled with artifacts.
A few mornings later, new vaults have been dug. And again, no one admitted responsibility for that either. Either someone is trespassing on the reservation or someone involved in the dig is doing unauthorized excavations.
Earlier this week, one of the vaults collapsed and seriously injured one of our volunteers.
That's when we knew we needed help and called you.
Sure does sound like a case of sabotage.
Chief Greywolf, do you have any suspects?
Just looking around, it appears there are a lot of people working around here.
We gave up weeks ago to keep up with the number of people who are stomping around our tribal property.
It really is getting scary. There have been so many incidents, we don't know who to trust.
You mentioned a two-pronged problem. What's the other issue?
Many generations ago, as told by my great-grandfather, the land was given to our people as a sign of lasting peace from the United States government.
The story goes from great-grandfather who buried the notarized deed. Evidently, an ancient tribal dagger has been etched with signs that show the way to the hidden deed.
We know that the deed is buried in the crisscross shadows, but we don't know what that means. This dagger disappeared from our tribe when my great-great-grandfather passed away.
Any ideas where the dagger might be now?
That's a part of our problem. It's missing. A volunteer at the dig found a dagger. We think that might be the one, but it disappeared before we had a chance to view it. Notes from when it was cataloged led us to believe it was a tribal dagger.
Its blade was made out of solid silver, and the handle was encrusted with turquoise, jasper, and topaz. It has some strange markings on it, though.
Great-great-grandfather was only able to whisper one clue before he passed away.
And what was that clue, Hunter?
He said that the deed is buried in the crisscross shadows that is cast by the light of the hunter's moon, and the blade leads the way.
The tribe has searched for all these years, and neither the deed nor dagger has ever been found.
Tell us more about the dagger.
As I said, the dagger is worth many thousands of dollars. It has been in our possession for many generations.
There was a written deed that told us how this land was transferred from us to the government and gave us this land forever.
That is true.
This land has a special significance to our tribe.
But now that's in jeopardy. Ownership of this land has been challenged in court, and we need to find the deed to prove that this land is rightfully ours.
Plus, the missing relics need to be found before they are sold illegally. Our plan was to sell some of them to museums to help create a college fund for our future generations.
We promise to do our best to help you uncover the mystery.
I think our first move will be to join the volunteer team at the side of the dig.
This all seems so hard to believe. Crisscross shadows, lost deeds, silver daggers. Did we enter the Twilight Zone when I wasn't looking?
Nothing like this ever happened to Waco. It's like we aren't even on the same planet.
I understand how strange this must seem. You have to understand that even though we are the same age, our worlds are still very different.
That's right. Even though our tribe has embraced many modern-day conveniences and customs, our history still runs very deep in each and one of us.
In many ways, we are truly worlds apart.
I see the same stars through my window that you see through yours, but we're worlds apart, worlds apart. I see the
Who knows? But you know it's gonna be hot and dusty, and I can't stand all these creepy crawlies around us.
Sooner or later, I hope that we don't Vault 5. Because it has a blaze on it all day. You can't catch the heat there.
You're queer for players. What you guys think you're signing up for?
You know I just needed some service hours. I sure ain't here by choice.
Better quit complaining. Here comes Mr. York, and he won't be happy if he sees us standing around flapping our gums.
Good morning. Where's everybody else? Are you all I got today?
I think the rest are on their way, sir. They stopped for coffee. They're right behind us.
Mr. York, what's on the agenda for today?
Most of you will be working on Vault 5 today.
Hello, sunshine.
Now get on that way. Sam, hold back a minute. I need to talk to you. Most of these volunteers are sick of Vault 5 and should be quitting soon. That plays right into our plan.
It sure does. We had 3 quit yesterday. Now, what do you got for me?
When the rest of our gang gets here, I want y'all to head over to Vault 9. I'll be over shortly. I've got some new information to share with you.
I hope it's good news. I'm ready to finish this job, get our loot, and move on. Digging up old bones in the hot sun is not my idea of a good time.
Sometimes acting the part goes into being a good thief. You gotta be willing to do the hard work to get the big payoff.
Sure seems like my role in this drama has a lot more dirty work than your part. I don't see you digging these holes every day.
Don't you worry none about what I'm doing. You best just keep doing what I tell you to do.
I better get my fair share out of this deal. It seems like I always end up with the short end of the stick. About time you got here. How long does it take you all to get some coffee?
Well, we're here now. What's the boss have for us today?
He's got us over at Vault 9. He said he'd be over later with some news.
Finally, maybe we can finish this job and get out of here.
What about the real volunteers? Are they going to be out of the way? We don't need them snooping in our business. He's got them over at Vault 5 again.
Another fun day in the blazing West Texas sun for those dogs.
Sam, do you give any indication to how close we are to finishing this job?
I already asked him about that. He said he'd give us instructions when we got to Vault 9.
We better be there before he gets there then.
Heaven knows, he's not a very patient man. Come on. I'll catch up with you guys in a minute.
Good morning. We're the new volunteers and we're wondering where we need to report.
We're friends of Chief Graywolf. He said you were losing volunteers and needed help.
I don't remember seeing new arrivals on the list. But head on over to Vault 5. It's over that way.
As we were walking up, we spotted another group heading the other way. Should some of us split up and join their team?
You just head on over to Vault 5 like I told you in the first place, and you'll be just fine.
Yes, ma'am. We just wanted to help if we were needed.
You better, if you plan to stay here for very long.
Man, she sure was in a bad mood.
She sure was. We better get over to Vault 5 and find out what's going on.
Good morning. I'm Joe. This is my brother Frank. We're your new volunteers. How would you like us to get started?
Fresh meat.
Have you ever worked at a dig site before?
Actually, we have. I'm Nancy, and this is George.
Hi, George. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, but that's George. I'm Chet.
George is short for Georgia. Confuses a lot of people.
We're anxious to start, but we're going to need some direction.
Over here is where we keep our tools. Are you familiar with using brushes and sieves?
Absolutely. We have helped with other dish with our science teacher at school.
We noticed there's another group working at a different site. Does the team typically split into groups each day?
Previous jobs I worked at, all the volunteers were kept together. But here, we are divided into 2 groups, and the other group always works at Vault 9.
Have you ever worked at Vault 9? Do you rotate to a different site?
No, Sammy told us to stay away from Vault 9.
Is Sammy the site leader? I think we met her just now. If she was grouchy, that was Sam.
Sammy is second in command, and she thinks she knows it all, but Mr. York, the head archaeologist, is responsible for everything that goes on at the dig.
I didn't get a real good vibe from Sammy. Almost felt like we were unwanted.
No, not at all. We have more than we can handle. People are quitting left and right.
Sammy's all right. I think the job's just getting to her. Mr. York, he's putting an awful lot of pressure on her.
It seems like he gives her a new set of orders every hour.
Have you seen any artifacts recovered from Vault 9?
Yes, Mr. York oversees all that is uncovered. Then it's taken back to the main tent for cataloging.
They come across some amazing things, but rumors that several items have disappeared from the catalog tent.
Really? Artifacts are disappearing? What do you think happens to them?
No idea. There are some stories that we might have awakened some old spirits, though I don't believe those old spirit tales myself.
Well, I didn't until I got here, but there have been some mighty strange things happening.
Hey, Hunter. Hey, Sky.
Are y'all talking about those wolf tracks around the dig site?
We haven't mentioned that. We didn't want to scare them away the first day.
We really need the help.
Don't worry. We don't scare easily.
Maybe you don't scare easily. Why don't you just tell us about these tracks?
Well, a few mornings ago we found these huge wolf-like tracks around the dig site. They were bigger than any wolf print I've ever seen.
No one knows where the tracks came from, as if we haven't seen or heard wolves in this area. It's very strange. I know I sure don't want to meet a wolf with those size paws late at night.
I wouldn't want to meet one anytime.
Yep, you'd make it nice 50 sheets for a wolf that big.
Large wolf tracks. Are you sure it was a wolf? Could it have been a bear?
No. We know our animals and their tracks. At school on the reservation, we learn all about the Chihuahuan Desert and its ecosystems. Those tracks weren't normal.
Many of our elders believe that digging on the land has awakened the great wolf. I tried to protect its spirit.
Protect the spirit? What do you mean by that?
In time to show it is our belief that we're protected by Great Wolf. Generations of stories have been told of the Great Wolf, strong and powerful. We'll have to chase off our enemies.
None of us have personally seen the great wolf. Well, except for my great-great-grandfather. He saw the spirit at a time when our tribe was in trouble.
Our history says the Great Wolf showed him the way to the Crisscross Shadow, where valuable tribal treasures are said to have been buried, including the jewels.
Crisscross Shadow? Any ideas where this shadow might be?
Our people have looked for years. There are many places that form crossing shadows in the late afternoon and full moon. Some even right here on the dig site.
So let me get this straight. Somewhere on this reservation is a jeweled, encrusted silver dagger, and the dagger leads to a lost deed?
Why not just go to the courthouse and request a copy of the deed?
The problem is the courthouse was burned years ago, long before the records were ever kept on the computer.
Finding the buried deed is our only hope of proving that we own this land.
We've been contacted by a lawyer named Miles Camp, who's representing a client that is laying claim to this land.
What? How is that possible?
It is impossible. We know it's a mistake, but evidently they don't. The court has given us 7 days to prove that we rightfully own this land, or we lose it.
So Mr. Camp's client has copies of ownership of the land?
The lawyer says they do. Grandfather thinks it's a fake because back when he was a little boy, everybody in the county knew that the government had given us this land. So this so-called deed that this client has produced must be fake.
Oh, looking for more of the stolen artifacts? You now see why we needed your help. We can do this. Let's get started.
And might I say, with all modesty, we are the best sleuths around.
You have shattered all.
Thanks for tuning in to KDAV Radio. It's another great day here in Fort Davis, and here's the news. Take it away, Bubba.
Well, folks, in this day we have several items of interest. First, the results from local Brewster Junior High History Fair results are in, and we are quite proud of the students and their work. Third place went to Sarah Lynn Gilbert with her project entitled The Marfa Lights, Living with Radiation. Second place went to Toomey Terror with his project entitled How the Largemouth Bass Helped End the Civil War. And first place went to Menard McCulloch, son of JT and Minnie McCulloch, with his project about taming the Wild West. Barbed wire, don't fence me in. I tell you, Bucky, with projects like that, I don't know how to pick a winner. It does me proud to know that Fort Davis still produces well-educated students who really know their American history. That's true.
That's true, that's true. I'm still steamed about our own Levada Calhoun. She was cheated at the Alpine Rodeo and exhibition. I mean, how many other 10-year-olds know the chemical formula for a stink bag? It should have won the grand prize. She was cheated, I tell you. Cheated.
She was pretty broken up about losing. I don't know if she'll ever be the same. And now on other local topics, the Ouachita Baptist Church Community Catfish Fry has been postponed indefinitely. Barbara Jean Baker, president of the Women's Sunday School class, has informed me that not a single husband is going fishing anywhere until the yards are mowed and the fences are mended.
Well, with weather like we've been having, I don't think we'll never see another fish fry in this county again. Which brings us to our weather report from our on-the-spot weatherman, Leroy Van Zandt. Leroy, what are you seeing out there?
Well, we're seeing a little bit of everything. We got some rain coming in from the north, the east, the west, a little bit from the south. Forecast says we'll get 3 to 4 inches of rain this morning, clearing around 10 o'clock. It'll be hot and humid with a high of 102 degrees by noon. This will be followed by a rolling dust storm around 3 o'clock, with winds kicking up near 50 miles an hour. By sunset, we'll be covered by a swarm of mosquitoes heading up this way from Uvalde.
Leroy, you've got to be kidding me. All that's horrible.
Oh, it gets worse. Temperatures are going to drop to low 30s tonight with a good chance of 2 to 3 inches of snow. It'll be a real whip, not wild ride the next day or two. But you know what they say about Texas weather. If you don't like it, just wait a while. And it will change. This is Leroy Van Zandt from KDAV Radio, Stony Brook Studio.
Thanks, Leroy. I say, Bucky, with projects like that, sounds like we're in for a wild ride the next few days.
Ain't worried.
Why's that, Bucky?
Leroy's forecast hasn't been right once since the day he was struck twice by lightning go all back. But he sure is dedicated.
That's true, that's true.
Well, that just about wraps up our broadcast.
Wait, I think we have some breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. Oh my, we have some breaking news from the reservation, from the archaeological dig out at the reservation. Reports are saying that mysterious holes are being dug all over the area during the nighttime. Folks at the site are truly puzzled. And to top things off, the county officials say the land might belong to someone else. Some city slicker lawyer out of Abilene has come forward and claims his client is the rightful owner of this reservation. This lawyer, Miles Camp, has said that his client recently inherited the land from a deceased cousin twice removed. The judge has given Chief Grey Wolf 7 days to produce the deed from the tribe rightfully owns this land.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Oh, this is crazy. Surely Judge Prescott will look further into the sudden turn of events.
But if his claim holds true, why we lose half Fort Dave's population in a fatal swoop.
It would be a shame, I tell you, a shame. On that note, we'd like to thank today's sponsors, Yodel's Funeral Home and Taxidermy.
Well, their motto is, Yodel's, we're always the last to let you down.
For Bubba, I'm Bucky, signing off from KDAV Radio, deep in the heart of West Texas.
I'm so tired of digging in this dirt. Why can't we just raid the artifact tent, empty it out at night, and be done with this stupid job? I just broke another nail.
That guy broke my back, lifting bucket after bucket of rocks in his cursed red sand. I'm sick of it.
Quit your complaining. We all feel the same way. We're going to get your payoff in the end. It'll be worth it, so get up and do your part.
All right, you scumbags. Gather round. The boss here has some important news to tell you.
Scumbag? Who you calling scumbag? I'll drag you into the dirt. I'll show you.
Settle down if you know what's good for you.
I'm settled. Just tell us your plan and tell her to back off on the name calling. She knows what's good for her.
Jake, put a sock in it and listen to the boss.
We've practically got the reservation in the palm of our hand. Thanks to our lawyer, Miles Camp, with his fake deed, he's convinced the county judge that this land belongs to his client, also known as us.
The tribe is on its heels trying to find the lost deed. I was never so glad when Old Man Grove told the boss he did not have possession of the deed.
That was a smooth move, York. We could get ownership of this reservation, kick the tribe out. We can take our time digging for more stuff like that silver dagger we stole. So outside the deed, what's your big news?
Silver. As lead archaeologist of the dig, I get all the info from everyone. The geological survey that was done found veins of silver. I've kept it quiet so not to arouse any unwanted attention. We are sitting on a very large, untapped silver mine. Ladies and gents, we're going to be rich beyond our wildest dreams. In this life, one thing counts in the bank, large amounts. I'm afraid these don't grow on trees. You've got to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two, friends. You've got to pick a pocket or two. Large amounts don't grow on trees. You've got to pick a pocket or two. Why should we break our backs when we all could relax? Better get some untaxed income. I better pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two, friends. You've got to pick a pocket or two. Why should we all break our backs? You've got to pick a pocket or two. When I see someone rich, both my thumbs start to itch. Only to find some peace of mind, I have to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two. Just to find some peace of mind, I have to pick a pocket or two.
Quiet down. So, boss, do you have a plan?
The plan is to start scaring these volunteers off the dig. And in 7 days, boom, we own the land. And we're going to need more wolf tracks so we can actually get to the silver.
Hey, what are you doing over here? You're not supposed to be here. sheep.
That's okay. I've got to prepare lunch for the crew.
Folks, I think we've got a problem on our hands.
Sky, tell us again what you overheard York and the Digger saying over at Vault 9.
I was walking out to tell Mr. York that my grandfather wants to speak with him regarding the missing artifacts. He is terribly upset about the relics that have gone missing. I accidentally overheard them saying some weird stuff, and it seemed they got mad that I was there.
You know we're counting on selling the relics to museums around the U.S. to help fund our college fund for our tribe.
Yes, you mentioned that before. Do you know what the diggers have found at Vault 9? Do we have a list of what's missing?
That silver dagger was a big find of lots of silver and turquoise jewelry.
They were talking about silver when I walked up.
Silver as in the necklaces, right?
No, I don't think so. They were talking about wolf tracks and silver, and my gut feeling is not about necklaces, but something else he doesn't want people to know about. I don't trust him.
Mr. York and Sammy both seem suspicious to me, too. What could they mean about wolf tracks and silver?
Sky, have you and your grandfather seen the geological surveys done on the site? This is a standard procedure we learned about in science class. All archaeological sites have it done.
No, I haven't seen anything like that. I don't think one has been done.
Hunter, could there possibly be silver on this reservation?
I suppose so, though I've never heard grandfather or anybody from our tribe mention it.
It would be logical. They're digging up silver jewelry. Silver has to be nearby somewhere.
That could explain this source suddenly showing up with a deed claiming ownership of this land. If there's a silver mine, your tribe will be rich.
No joke. The price of silver is going through the roof right now. I heard it on the Bubba and Bucky show when we'd first arrived.
Wolf tracks and silver. If Mr. York was talking about it, it must be at the dig site. It makes sense. All these random holes are being dug by night. I bet York and those other diggers on Vault 9 are coming back at night trying to find the silver.
And looting the catalog tent. That's how things are disappearing.
We need to go to the sheriff with this information.
I think this is becoming a dangerous place. Maybe I should leave. I wouldn't want you getting hurt on our account. This is a tribal issue.
No way! We've come to solve this mystery, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Do you think the bad guys have trained wolves? It could be dangerous if you really want us to leave.
Nonsense. I will lay money that those wolf prints are fakes. Hunter, you said that you learned about desert animals at your school, and you've never come across an animal that can make those size prints, right?
Yes, well, unless it's the spirit of the great wolf.
Do you believe that?
I'm not sure, but there's one way to figure out.
You took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. We need to do a stake out here tonight at the dig and see what is really going on.
You're right, but if it's not your Indian spirit, we need to be prepared for trouble.
What was that?
That was my stomach. I'm starving. Who in their right mind gets around to bed at midnight and sneaks out to a hunted Indian burial ground? I must be crazy.
I'll give you the crazy part. Nancy and Frank don't believe it's haunted. We've all handled situations like this before.
We'll go in pairs and spread out of the way. Chad and George, go to the back of Vault 9. Joe and Hunter, go to the front of Vault 9 and stay hidden. Nancy and I were on between digs 5 and 9 looking for clues.
What about Sky? What's her assignment?
You know I'm a better scout than you are. I'll keep watching in Vault 9 and stay hidden. If anyone comes, I'll whistle and you guys can know to hide.
I don't need to wait for a whistle. I'm ready to hide now, or better yet, leave.
Chet, the sooner we do this, the sooner we go back to bed.
That is, if we survive.
Let's go, guys. Hit your positions, keep your eyes open, and mouth shut.
sunshine. It's a bright blue morning at KDAV Radio in glorious Fort Davis. We hope you're doing well and ready for the morning news.
My oh my. Bubba, has it been a tumultuous 24 hours? But before we get into all that's going on here in the community, we have a word from our sponsor. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Cranky T's Barbecue and Smokehouse.
I'm Miss T of Cranky T's Barbecue and Smokehouse. I'd like to welcome you all to my fine dining except for you, Tommy Solis of Tommy's Tune-Up and Malt Shop. You're always leaving greasy handprints all over my tabletops. Why do you think I leave napkins? But for the rest of you fine folks, come on down to Cranky T's Barbecue and Smokehouse for the finest delights, just 2 blocks West Square. Our brisket is so good. Our brisket is so good. Our brisket is so good.
What is it?
It's so good, it'll want to make you slap your sister. But don't do that. As a retired elementary teacher, I won't have slapping, hitting, or pushing for that matter. Wait your turn. Don't act like you've never been in public before. I'll snatch you up and send you home hungry.
Well, thank you, Mrs.
I'm not done, Bubba. Did I look like I was done?
No, ma'am.
Then stop interrupting and sit up straight, young man. I have one last thing to say. This is a personal message to Judge Luther Poteet. Your son, little Luther, is rude, I tell you. Downright rude. You need to do a better job of raising that little no-neck monster. The next time I catch him riding his bike through my flower beds, I'll tan his hide. Now, lunch start promptly at 11:30, so don't be late. I don't like tardiness.
I tell you, Miss T still makes my armpits sweat.
Now for the big local news. Sky Graywolf, granddaughter of Chief Lucas Graywolf, has gone missing. According to our sources, she disappeared last night while walking near the dig site at night. As many of you know, there has been strange going on and happenings and safety concerns going on at the site. Volunteers have been injured, and many have just up and quit citing supernatural happenings. One former volunteer who declines to come on the radio states she believes there is a giant animal crawling around the dig site tonight. Tribal elders say it is the spirit of the Grey Wolf, long and protector of the tribe.
We don't know if spirit had anything to do with Miss Grey Wolf's disappearance. But the sheriff encourages all citizens to keep their eyes open for sky and large creatures, especially the 4-footed kind.
We will continue to follow this story as updates come available. But for now, on behalf of Bubba, this is Bucky saying, adios, amigos.
I can't believe Sky is missing. I don't think she even saw it coming. I feel so bad, Frank. One of us should have been with her.
She's tough. I'm sure she's all right. Don't give up hope, Nancy. We'll find her.
Well, since we found the rag that the kidnappers used to knock her out, I think we can safely assume that the Great Wolf theory is not implemented at this site.
From the smell of that rag, I'm guessing it's chloroform. She would have been knocked out almost immediately. Once they put that on your face, you're out like a light. She didn't even have a chance to fight back.
Those dirty rats.
My grandfather is frantic with worry. He has sent some of the members of the tribe to go searching for Sky, and the sheriff's deputies are helping too. But even though grandfather's acting tough, he's falling apart.
We've seen where she was ambushed. There are signs that 2 people dragged her body up the rocky mesa, then all prints disappeared after that.
Now that it's light, let's head up to the mesa and search it very, very carefully. If she is there, we will find her.
After we find Sky, I want to find those crooks who did this to her. And if she comes back hurt in any way, they will regret ever touching her.
Trust me, Hunter. You won't be the only one handing out justice to them.
Surprise! What are you all doing here? Nancy called me yesterday morning and said you could all use our help. So I packed as quickly as possible and headed out this way.
And boy, was it ever a long trip.
Quit your whining. You slept the whole way.
I wasn't sleeping, I was just resting my eyes.
Betsy couldn't make it. She had already left town with her family.
I'm just glad you all could make it. We need all the extra sets of eyes and hands we can get.
Hey, why all the long faces? I know you're in the middle of solving a mystery and time's running out, but you all look like you lost your best friend.
You're not too far from the truth. There's been another development in this mystery.
Sky's been kidnapped.
Oh no, when did this happen?
Late last night, we were doing some midnight detective work and Sky was our scout when someone got her.
Well, you've got 5 more junior detectives on the job now, so Chuck, I know we'll find Sky soon and help her family save their land.
Chief Girl, he has been found an important clue.
What? Come on, let's go see what they found.
Don't bother, he's headed to the lodge right now. Besides, I'm exhausted. I can't take another step.
Chet, please. We've got to give all we have to find Sky.
Chief Grey Wolf, Chet says you found a clue.
Yes, we found a boot with an interesting pattern on its sole.
It is shaped like a wolf print. It has a name inside of it, but we can't make it out.
You mind if I take a look at the boot, sir? He's right. Can't make it out. But get this. The boot tag says it was made in Fort Davis. So apparently one of the criminal shops here.
Shopping? I had found that clue. Really? George, you should be ashamed of yourself. I know. I'm just tired of the sand, the sweat, and all the danger around here. Okay, how about you and Chet going to town and try to find out who bought that boot? It could lead us to Sky and to the bad guys.
Maybe we could grab a bite to eat while we're there?
Ready for duty. What's our first assignment?
Let's send them with George and Chet. They could split up and cover more territory.
Great idea.
You all hungry? While we're in town, I thought we could get some chow.
Chet, focus. We have a mystery to solve. Don't worry, Nancy. We won't come back until we find out who bought that boot.
Man, that was close last night. They almost caught us. Good thing we got to her first before she was able to tell her nosy friends what's going on. Now she's going to regret getting in our business.
I can't believe you idiots did this. This was not part of the plan. I did not sign up for kidnapping.
Seeing as all you did was just forge a document, I'd say your hands are pretty clean, Mr. Miles Camp, attorney at law.
Tell me, exactly when in law school did you learn forgery?
I don't owe you an explanation. What are we going to do with this girl?
Good question. I suspect the FBI will be calling all over this place within 24 hours.
Not to mention the tribe and all their scouts.
We had to do what we had to do. Sometimes plans change. But I've been thinking, as long as we've got the girl, we should make the most of it. When this is all said and done, her grandparents will pay through the nose for her safe return.
Well, we're going to keep her. This is too close to the reservation.
We need to get rid of her.
We can put her in the driver's seat of a Jeep and drive her off into the ravine and make it look like an accident.
Or take her to the top of the mesa and just push her off. Problem solved.
Absolutely not. No murder. Desperate times call for desperate measures. She should be knocked out for a while, so we have time to decide her fate. How much longer until the reservation's in our hands, Camp?
Less than 48 hours. The judge originally gave the tribe 7 days, and time's ticking.
Maybe disguises of parents would distract them, focusing on finding the deed.
Thanks to Jake and his footprints, 4 more volunteers quit yesterday, scared out of their minds. They're almost certain the dig was haunted. That only leaves us nosy out-of-town kids still digging at the site.
By the way, about those boots, yeah, I kind of
Might be missing one.
What? You left evidence behind. You're practically pinning them right to us.
I think I know where the boot fell off. I had my hands full with the chief's grand tire. I'll go find it, boss.
Find it or don't come back. Now about those kids at the dig.
Maybe we can encourage them to leave as well.
Sammy, see what you can do to help those volunteers decide that home is a much safer place than here.
You've got it, boss. You know, strange things happen out here in the desert late at night. Snakes and spiders on the move. Not to mention those angry Indian spirits. Why, anything could happen to those kids.
A rattlesnake in the sleeping bag, a tarantula in the bathroom, a scorpion in the boot. It could be mighty discouraging to folks not around in these parts. West Texas can be a scary place.
While we are at it, Christina, in addition to all those biting critters, you're talking about maybe one of those Indian spirits need to leave a warning note to Vominos. Go home!
You've got your marching orders. Now get on it. Sleep tight.
You guys, you won't believe what I just found. It's a note from your ancestors.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Let me see that. Trespassers on our sacred lands, beware. You have angered the spirit of the great wolf. Leave by your able. You are not wanted here.
Nancy, you don't actually believe this was written by my ancestors, do you?
Of course not. Obviously it was a complete hoax. But it does mean we're getting a little too close for comfort. We're making somebody awfully nervous.
Y'all aren't scared, right? You said you were gonna help us.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to find Sky, we are going to get that deed, and we are going to save your tribal lands.
Oh my gosh, someone broke into our room.
What happened? Did you see who it was? Did they take anything?
We didn't see anyone. It didn't look like they took anything, but they sure wanted to make sure that we knew they'd been there.
How so?
There was a rattlesnake in Frank's bunk. Frank was about to sit down when we heard it. It was huge.
And if that wasn't bad enough, a creepy message had been left on my pillow.
You had a note too?
Not a note, bones. Small animal bones that spelled out "go home."
What an awful thing to do. Look what Nancy found in her room.
Whoever's doing this is getting desperate. We must be getting really close to figuring out who's behind all this nonsense.
It also means we're being watched. And whoever is watching us also has access to our rooms.
Since all the people here are volunteers at the dig, it has to be someone from on the inside.
How are we supposed to find the deed if we're being shadowed?
Boy, have we got some news for you.
Well, I hope it's good news, because it looks like you all spent your time shopping.
Oh, all this is the least we could do since the bootmaker helped us out so much.
What did you find out?
The bootmaker sold an extra wide pair of boots a couple weeks ago to none other than Sam the Crouch.
Grouchy Sam. Sam. Second in command to the dig?
Yes, sir. The one and only.
He said it was a handmade pair of boots with a special soft sole. Not a normal pair of work boots he usually makes.
A soft sole, huh?
one that could be easily carved into any shape he wanted, like a wolf's paw, for example.
Exactly!
So, if Sammy is involved, that means all those conversations he's had with York are probably connected, which means that York is involved too.
And if Mr. York is involved, then all the workers at Bolton 9 must be the ones who are carrying out all of his and Sammy's plans.
Come to think of it, the volunteers at Bolton 9 are the only ones who've been here since the beginning.
Not one of them has quit.
But how are we going to catch them in the act if they're keeping Tom's nest? We can't solve this mystery and we can't find Sky and we can't find the deed if we're constantly being shadowed.
I've got it! I think my grandfather and our tribe can create the perfect distraction, and they can do it tonight!
She's still out?
Appears that way. Hopefully didn't give her too much chloroform.
That would be permanent lights out for her then.
No sign of York yet? He should be here any minute.
He's never on time.
But boy, he sure gets mad if any of us are a second late.
Between you and me, I'll be glad when this job is finished.
I know what you mean. Working for Mr. York is no piece of cake, you know.
I've never worked so hard for what I've thought would be easy money.
You bunch of whiners. You know, life is full of hard knocks.
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of raises, we get kicked. It's a hard knock life. Got no place to go or run. It's a hard knock life. No fun. Like the sunlight. Instead of cool, empty pockets. Instead of full, it's a hard knock life. Don't it feel like the wind is always howling? Don't it seem like the sun is extra bright?
Once a day, don't you want to throw the towel in?
It's easier than putting up a fight.
No one cares if you have a friend.
All we hear is Sammy screaming at us. You would think she had something better to do. Oh, Mr. York, we hardly see. Mr. York, boss man, where's he? No one cares for you a smidge when you're working at a dig. It's a hard knock life.
How's our little troublemaker?
Still out like light.
Good. Now it's time to go into the last phase of our little operation.
Great, as long as it means getting out of this desert. So what's the next step, boss?
We just need to stall for 12 more hours and make sure that Chief and none of those nosy kids get their hands on the real deed.
That might not be too hard. I think this big Hunter's Moon tribal dance they've got planned for tonight will keep them busy. It'll be their last dance on this land.
It sure sounds like a big deal. Can't imagine all the time to be snooping around for anything.
I hate to mention it, but at the dig site today, I kind of overheard the deed had been found.
What? And you're just now bringing this up? That's crucial information.
Sorry, boss. I guess the heat's just getting to me.
York, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I suspect it's just a rumor, wishful thinking. Chief Gold had a deed, he'll take it immediate to the judge.
You bunch of numbskulls. This is why I pay Mr. Camp the big bucks. He's got his head on straight. Those bunch of kids that call themselves detectives started a rumor to throw us off our game.
We'll show them we can't be fooled.
That's right. We didn't just follow the camp wagon. You gotta wake up pretty early to pull the wool over my eyes. Now, Jake, he's a different story.
Ha! Very funny, Jane. Very funny.
So what's the assignment, boss?
We better all make sure to be at that tribal dance tonight so no one gets suspicious. Remember to mill around and keep your eyes and ears open. If you see or hear anything, tell me right away.
Act as normal as you people can, and don't blow our cover.
All right, you heard the man. We've got our orders. Let's not mess this up. Now, let's get going.
Who's going to keep an eye on our little bundle of trouble?
She's gonna be out for a good while. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think she'll cause any more problems for us. Just look at her.
I'm okay. Somehow Mr. York's goons grabbed me and knocked me out with chloroform. They've been holding me hostage in a tent near Vault number 9. They're the ones who've been stealing all the artifacts.
Those dirty rats. Let's go bust them up.
Did they hurt you?
No, Grandfather. I'm just so glad to be back with you all again.
How did you get away?
They had me tied up. I pretended to still be unconscious, and when they left, I used one of the stolen artifacts to cut my ropes. Then I ran back as fast as I could. I was so scared they would catch me again.
We've been so worried. We don't know what we would have done if anything happened to you.
No piece of land or any amount of money is worth losing you.
Scott, I'm glad you're okay. We hope to hear or see anything that could help us know what York and his gang are trying to do.
Yes! They've got a fake deed they're going to turn to the judge tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Well, I guess that's it then. Sorry, Chief. Looks like you may lose your land after all. There's no way we're going to find the real deed before then.
You guys give up too easily. There's got to be some way we can find the real deed. We're Apaches. We'll fight to the end.
You're right. We must be overlooking some vital clue. Chief Grey Wolf, remind us again about your great-grandfather's last words.
He said the deed is buried in a crisscross shadow that is cast by the light of the hunter's moon, and the blade leads the way. The blade, the blade. What could that mean?
Could it mean a knife or something?
This was in the tent where I was tied up. Could this be what we're looking for?
Look, Grandfather, it has a jeweled handle.
It certainly fits the description.
There are markings on the blade. Chief, do you know what these mean?
My eyes are so bad, I can hardly see the details.
Hector and Raven, you've been studying our tribal traditions. Can either of you make it out?
It looks like an ancient pictograph, possibly, or
a very small map. Look, I think this is the big mace on the reservation. See?
You're right. How could I miss that? What does this X mean on it? And the circle, is that the sun?
Or a hunter's moon? Then I bet that is where the deed is. Let's go find out.
Hold on. We're being watched, remember? If we all go out there looking for the lost deed, York and his gang of misfits will see us.
Chet's right. Besides, the story goes that you need the hunter's moon. We have to look at night for where the shadows crisscrosses each other.
And that should be where the deed is buried.
If great-great-great-Gramps is right.
How about this? A couple of us go out to where the blade indicates the X tonight during the tribal celebration. It'll be our last chance to investigate before the court turns this land over to those bad guys.
Great idea, Nancy. The rest of our group can circulate through the crowd tonight, keeping an eye on those crooks from Vault 9.
At the end of the ceremony, Sky can come out from hiding, and when the bad guys see her, they'll turn and run.
We don't want our granddaughter used as bait.
I'll be fine, Grandmother. It'll give us the element of surprise that we need. I'll do it.
Now, who wants to go digging in the dark for a hidden deed?
Not me.
I didn't think so. Besides, Chet, George, we could use your judo training and Chet's tackling skills here tonight when things start to go down.
Great point, Nancy. You and I can go. We'll find the deed and get back in time to see those criminals in handcuffs.
It surprises me to say it, but I'm really going to miss this place.
Not me. I've seen enough of West Texas and breathed enough of its dirt to last my entire lifetime.
Well, that's true. But the skies at night are just amazing. I've never seen so many stars.
If you say so. I've been so beat by the end of each day that I've hit my bunk before the sun went down.
I can understand that. I need to go finish packing. You coming?
Yep. I may miss this place. Just a little.
I just can't believe it'll be the last night I've tried on the land.
It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And the chief's granddaughter's still missing. I hope she's all right.
I just can't imagine what everyone is going through right now.
Let's head up to the lodge to see if there's any news about Sky.
Gosh, it's finally cooled down. It had to be near 100 degrees of what mine today.
Boy, you're telling me. It was so stinking hot, I thought I was gonna melt.
At least it should be nice for the Hunter's Moon Dance tonight.
You know, not many outside the tribe get to see the ceremony. If I write a report about this, I bet I can get some extra credit for my history class.
So tonight's the last night here on the reservation. After all these generations of living here, it has sadly come to an end.
So many memories will be lost when they're forced to move from this land. Where will they go?
Another reservation? Chief Grey Wolf must be crushed. First he loses his land, and now his granddaughter.
Has there been any sign of Sky? I know the authorities are involved in the search for her.
Welcome all to our Hunter's Moon ceremony.
Tonight we will celebrate a bountiful harvest and dance for the spirits of those who have come before us.
Traditionally, outsiders aren't invited, but certain events have proven that enemies lurk nearby, and we have many friends surrounding us, so in this case, everybody's invited. After the dance, my grandfather and my grandmother have great tidings of importance to share to us.
And now we dance.
As you are aware, our tribal council has allowed an archaeological dig on our sacred land.
With great foresight, our ancestors left behind valuable treasures to help our tribe in times of need.
This is one of those times.
Our future is dependent upon our younger members' educations. So with the money of the sale of the artifacts, it will help us create a fund to help our younger people from our tribe go to college. And in college, they'll learn modern techniques to help our people thrive.
We are honored to have loyal friends in our midst. Nancy, Frank, please step forward.
Chief Grey Wolf, I am honored to present to you the long-buried deed to your tribal land.
What? That's gotta be fake.
Interesting you say that, Sammy. The deed that Mr. Camp plans to present to the judge on behalf of his client is the fake. This is the real deed.
What are you trying to say?
During the dance, Frank and I used one of the artifacts to lead us to where the real deed was buried. We followed the pictographs on the map.
Map? What map? I've overseen everything that was discovered at this reservation, and there hasn't been a single map.
That's right, Mr. York. You have been the overseer of all the artifacts, and you were charged with their safekeeping, but many of them came up missing on your watch, including that deed. Your deceptive actions have blinded you to the clues right in front of you. The dagger was the key all along.
It's clear now that you and your accomplices have been leading an attack on Chief Grey Wolf and his people.
That's ridiculous. You don't have any proof. These are just some lies from a bunch of out-of-towners. I say again, where's your proof?
I am the proof, Mr. York.
Come on.
After Jake and Henry abducted me last night, I was taken to your little gang's headquarters out in the desert. I overheard your plan to steal this land from us because of an undiscovered silver mine. You are going to steal this great wealth right out from under us. You are a thief, Mr. York, a thief!
The gig is up. Run!
What do you have to say for yourselves?
It was his fault. It was his idea. He's the brains behind the operation. It's obvious you're not the brains. You don't have enough in there to keep your mouth shut.
We're not saying anything until we have a lawyer.
Where's Miles Camp?
He's unavailable. After we found the deed, we informed the sheriff. He is now with the false documents. I'm confident Mr. Mr. Camp will be behind bars shortly.
Well done, friends. Our tribal land is now safe. After we present the deed in court, we will have a community-wide celebration.
Nancy, Frank, Joe, George, Chet, you have saved us. What can we do to show our appreciation for all that you have done?
A big plate of short ribs and corn cakes will make a good start. What? Danger makes me hungry.
Thanks for tuning in to KTAV Radio for the 5 o'clock news report. We have some exciting news from the reservation, but first, an update on other local happenings.
The Reverend Bobby Joe Blackford of the First United Methodist Church wanted us to let everyone know that the pumpkins used during the Fall Festival are ready for a pickup. For a small donation, you can get 2 pumpkins to take home to make your favorite pies for the holidays.
And good gosh, they have hundreds! I've never seen a graveyard splattering so much orange in my life. It was covered.
It was.
Reverend Blackford says they need to go because they're drawing bugs to the city.
Swarming around in plague-like proportions.
So come on down and gather them up so you can gobble them down.
The Fort Davis Booster Club is having their holiday fundraiser next week. Coach Beckmeyer invites all the fans of the Fort Davis Falcons football team to come on out and support the team. All proceeds will be used to buy new helmets for the team. Bubba, why don't you tell us about our farm report?
Well, melon prices are drying up, chicken prices floating the coop, and pork prices are sizzling. And speaking of sizzling, silver prices reach an all-time high. I bet Chief Gray was happy to hear about that. But more on that after a word from our sponsors, Tommy Tune Up and Malt Shop.
Hi, I'm Tommy Solis from Tommy's Tune Up and Malt Shop, and I have a question for you as we enter this holiday season. Do you know how dangerous it is to be riding on a faulty flatbed during a holiday hayride, or in a one-horse open sleigh with some frame damage? I can answer both those questions for you and check your holiday ride if you come on down to Tommy's Tune Up and Malt Shop, where we can rotate your tires and treat your taste buds. Because if you don't, you might just have yourself a silent night. Thank you for your support.
You know, Tommy's such a dedicated sponsor to the Bucky Bubba Show. I don't know what we'll ever do without him.
He is. Now for your holiday enjoyment. Over at the elementary school, you can check out this year's production of the Northborough Follies. Students in kindergarten through 5th grade will be singing and dancing to some of your Yuletide favorites. Auditions were held a couple of weeks ago, and the music teacher, Miss Paula Kirby Dyson, says that this year's talent will put the freeze on any holiday humbugs. Highlights include the Baker Twins with their Flaming Baton routine and Cecil Burlington with his ventriloquist act, featuring his dummy, Peepaw. This year's Mistress of Ceremonies is our very own Miss Fort Davis, Tracy Faye Jones. This will be a night you don't want to miss.
And now, a quick word from another longtime sponsor of our show, Cranky T. Cranky T's Barbecue and Smokehouse. Miss T, take it away.
I'm Miss T of Cranky T's Barbecue and Smokehouse. I'd like to welcome you all to my fine dining establishment. This weekend, we're having a special pulled pork sandwiches, a pickle, and a side of baked beans, all for just $4.99. That will have you coming back for seconds or even thirds. Well, lunch served promptly at 11:30, so don't be late. As I said before, I don't like tardiness, And don't forget to wash. Don't act like you don't have any manners in my restaurant. I'll toss you right out that door.
And now on to the big news of the day. Chief Grey Wolf and his tribe have had a momentous event occurring in the Apache Reservation. And as you all know, ancient artifacts were found, many considered priceless, and much of what was found came up missing.
Not to mention his own granddaughter who came up missing as well. It's been nothing but drama out there, I tell you. Well, turns out the lead fell in charge of the dig, Mr. York, and some of the diggers he brought with him were still in the well just as fast as anyone could dig them up. Apparently, Sky Grey Wolf, her brother Hunter, and some mystery solving friends from out of town were onto the sketchless scheme and were about to put the kibosh on the whole thing just about when Mr. York and his flunkies abducted Sky.
Well, she got away from Hat when she was being held and got home lickety-split. The tribe put on their Hunter's Moon ceremonial dance to lure the bad guys out of fighting, and lo and behold, those with the sneaky snakes were captured, tied up, and waiting for the sheriff to send them to jail.
That's right. And on top of all this, the long missing actual deed to the tribe's land was found the very same night. It seems that Miles Camp, that lawyer fella who presented the fake deed in court, was working with Mr. York and his gang. But his luck ran out when he was arrested trying to board a plane bound for Tijuana. But wait, it gets better. It's been discovered that there is an untapped silver mine beneath the tribe's land. The tribe is going to be rich. Needless to say, the tribe's college fund will be well stocked.
This is making one of them Hollywood miniseries for TV. We haven't had this much excitement since Widow Paulson lost her dentures in the Christmas party punch last year. Chief wanted us to invite all of our listeners out to the reservation tonight for a party celebrating the tribe's good fortune. Meat and drinks will be provided, and you are asked to bring a covered dish to share. And after the meal, there will be a big dance, like music and festivities.
That sounds like great fun. Y'all come on out, y'all hear? This night will be a night you don't want to miss. For Bubba, I'm Bucky, signing off. Thanks for listening to KDAV Radio, deep in the heart of West Texas.